Hey guys, my name is Alexandra Eggleton. I'm working my way towards a degree in education, specifically elementary ages, and through these slides I will describe my vision statement as it applies to what being culturally aware might look like in my specific career. Breaking down the term culture awareness first needs definition on how it truly differs from the term society. Asking the question, what is culture? According to GMB, culture is the way of life. It includes our values, beliefs, customs, languages, and traditions. Culture is reflected in our history and our heritage and how we express ideas creatively. My community is made up of many diverse learners as the city is rapidly growing right alongside these diverse learners to help enrich and bring out their cultural influences for the benefit of their community. When we think about hidden curriculum, it's known to be defined as the concept that is based on the recognition that students absorb lessons in school that may or may not be part of formal course study. For example, how they should interact with peers, teachers, other adults, or how they should perceive different races, groups, or classes of people, or what ideas and behaviors are considered acceptable or unacceptable. Phoenix has many local neighborhoods that are perfect examples of what this kind of curriculum can be displayed within cultural expectations and institutional rules around the community, including school environments. These spaces provided for children's educational development in cultural communities are very essential parts of their ability to achieve higher learning. To incorporate their talents and cultural touch, students got to decorate a brick wall of the school facing the street now covered in art design from the students themselves. In slide 3, we referred to how developing an engaging and positive learning environment for learners, especially in this particular course, is one of the most creative aspects of teaching. When we take the effort to make space more comfortable and inviting, students are more likely to feel achievement is within a closer reach. This also pulls into the idea of material culture being part of the influence for today's students. Material culture in the classroom is defined as physically having the tools and materials to incorporate culture focus in the classroom, making it an easier understanding of how culture can boost a student's learning potential. Using a combination of teaching materials that come in many shapes and sizes, but they all have in common the abilities to support a student's learning. The city of Phoenix is very much divided by culture, race, and religion in many sections and sides of this big city. These two ideas fall together as the achievement gap is most likely a reflection of neighborhoods that are discriminated for the beliefs, causing cultural bias from around surrounding groups of diversity. As we cover in slide 4, the achievement gap is largely due to small acknowledged fact that poor and minority students bring culturally distinct values and beliefs to the classroom that are often incompatible with the bias inherited in the curriculum, assessment measures, and teachers themselves. As teachers, we are influenced by societal beliefs, and gender racial bias in education is arguably an even greater problem in the American classroom. We have now learned from Coe that the disregard to culture bias in her classroom as taking their culture to advance their independence. I want them to become confident, critical learners, eager to dive below the surface to find a deeper meaning and connections. As among the many diversified students that now make up a good percentage of schools here in Phoenix, the idea of still referring to culture as a disability happens more than we think in classrooms. Culture as a disability can be defined in many ways of the tradition we follow or the way in which we live our lives. Such gossip is created about a student who does not say the Pledge of Allegiance and is allowed to excuse himself from the classroom for that specific morning routine. Because of the culture, the school must respect personal choices as such. However, in the lunchroom, students do not see it this way and begin to create conflict with the student over cultural choices. Looking from their point of view, this is just a normal part of who they are. The definition of cultural conflict is a type of conflict that occurs when different cultures cultural values and beliefs clash. Mentioned in slide 5, we as the educators will first recognize our own expectations about nonverbal communication and then find ways to learn about those individuals and other cultures. When using the art of pop culture, or what is considered to be cool in the time period setting, always helps to reach students at a friendlier level. Being that pop culture can be a guide to meeting students where their interest lies allows educators to better communicate with their pupils. Discussed in slide 6, we now know that pop culture is one of the main and most effective bridges between what our students know and what we want them to know. While instilling classroom rituals to excite students, they must be fun and educationally interactive. And the classroom rituals help establish an atmosphere and a culture where students want to learn and want to be there. Combining these two ideas of pop culture and classroom rituals in the educational environment for students can make the idea of reading, writing, and learning that much more adventurous. Culturally responsive teaching is defined as a developed, comprehensive model of culturally responsive teaching that crosses disciplines and cultures to engage learners while respecting their culture integrity. At the core, being a culturally responsive teacher takes looking at my students as one giant screenplay that shows no favoritism or shyness from any student, rather using different techniques to reach each student where they are academically in order to bring them to the level of great potential that I know is achievable by every student. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my vision statement, and hopefully I will be able to use all of these concepts in becoming a wonderful educator. Thank you so much.